Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. Well, guess what's happening, Kurt? Looks like Trump is outlefting the left, says a guy named Cam Saleh. Guess just in, Donald Trump announced his support for legalizing marijuana.
Whoa, where's Joe Biden with that? Considering, remember he fired everybody who said they had ever smoked weed that helped him get elected?
That's
remember
exactly, yes.
All the aides, they fired them immediately, except, of course, Kamala got to stay.
It says Kamala got to stay. But they fired all the, if you filled out on your questionnaire to be in Joe Biden's administration and you said that you had used marijuana, they fired you. Yeah. And so now what are the Democrats going to do to keep up with this? You have to come up with something to counter this. So before you jump to legalizing pedophilia, here's a couple of other options. How about making it... So what are the Democrats going to do? Maybe you can make it legal to shoplift as long as it's at a large box store. Oh, wait, you guys already did that. How about
they did that. How
about you make it legal for millions of migrants to just pour over the border into our country? Damn, you beat me to that one, too.
How about you make them they can take over an entire apartment complex in Colorado?
How about that?
Oh, they did that. They did that.
Maybe you just lose this round because you should have this should have been your October surprise, and the damn Republicans and Trump beat you to it. While you were being petty and shallow, they were working on populistic ideas in the least likely of places, the Republican Party.
Yeah.
So this is a Democrats' failure. That's what this is. So let's get into the story. Trump signals support for marijuana legalization in Florida. He said that he support for a ballot measure that would legalize recreational marijuana in Florida, stopping short of a full endorsement, but saying that he did not believe marijuana should be criminalized in his adopted home state when it is legal in other places. You realize what's going to happen if they legalize recreational marijuana in Florida? There won't be any fun tubes coming out of there anymore about rednecks speeding in their pickup trucks off the road into a swamp. You know why? Because they're all going to be driving in slow motion. It's going to, that's how people do it.
I think they'll have the research chemicals to speed things up. Don't worry, it's Florida. They'll find a way to keep it.
You know, all those
speedy.
All the jokes about the old people from Miami driving slow. Their whole state's going to look like the OJ chase, but in slower motion. So Trump put a post out on his Truth Social. And he portrayed the passage of the ballot. So it's called Amendment 3. He says it's inevitable, and he raised concerns about its implementation. Public opinion polls show that a majority of Florida voters favor this measure. Right?
No kidding.
Hey, Florida, don't be the last ones to figure this out. Everybody else
is Texas.
That's right. It ain't about selling oranges anymore. Do you want to stay on the map in 2025? Do you want to start making money again? You're going to look back on these years that you weren't doing this, and you're going to have a friend slap you because this is coming. It's inevitable. So here he goes. We do not need to ruin lives and waste taxpayer dollars arresting adults with personal amounts of it on them.
But what about all the money we make?
So and
that's a big business. That's why they lobby. That's why the police benevolent, the liquor conglomerate, who else? All of them get together and lobby to make sure it stays illegal.
That's right. The private prison industry. This is big for them.
Yeah,
But why is
speculated on it?
But why is weed becoming legal across the country? Because big corporations figured out how to make money selling it. That's exactly what's happened. And they went in and they bribed the legislators, and the legislators then vote to make it legal. That's how this works.
Have you seen when I was at the weed store in LA last time? I thought this girl was just trying to sell me some kind of weed. There's they had a little pop-up presentation there, and she was talking about marijuana allergic reactions to it because of the way they produce marijuana now. There's not enough CBD and stuff, and people can get some allergic condition where they can never smoke marijuana again because they start vomiting uncontrollably.
I heard that you get that if, I've heard about this.
I thought it was a put on. I heard about it last night. It's like the ticks where you can't eat meat because you're allergic.
Yeah.
All these new things started coming out. So I'm guessing they found a way to get some good Monsantos on that weed that they previously didn't have, and now the public can have it.
I quit smoke. I would only, if I ever smoked pot again, which I haven't smoked for a year, One time I did up in Big Bear on a Saturday. Woo!
No.
But it was organic. I would only smoke organic weed.
Yeah,
because I can't even imagine the kind of poison they're putting on the legal weed that you get at your local pot store. I can't even imagine.
I'm sure that's the only reason it's legal. Yeah. I bet you it's the only reason is somebody has a deal with a chemical company to put something on it, and we're going to make a lot of money. Trump, who votes near his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, had previously avoided taking a position on this question. His position pits him against Governor Ron DeSantis and most of the state's Republican leaders who are working to defeat the proposal. So that's just by the way, if the Democrats allow the Republicans to beat them on this weed thing, which they're gonna, it looks like. I mean, Harris and Biden and Harris and Walz, They just need to start from scratch. Come up with a new word for what the Democrats are. Come up with a new animal as your mascot, because that donkey's been through enough abuse. I think they should start with something small like a lapdog. That's the perfect animal. You're going to let the Republicans out-left you on weed. Let's see what... So Mr. Trump's statement appeared to walk a line meant to keep him from fully upsetting those opposed to the measure. He did not say how he personally would vote on Amendment 3, and he did not explicitly back the legalization of marijuana, even as he again suggested he supported decriminalizing it. Still, activists backing Amendment 3 praised Mr. Trump's support for their effort. Smart and Safe Florida, the campaign working to pass the ballot measure, said in a statement that Mr. Trump agreed with their views that Florida must, quote, put an end to the arrest and incarceration of adults for simple possession of marijuana. Well, I just think that's really inconsiderate to the private prison industry. That's all I can say. Those who's going to be angry? The private prisons.
The private prison. Those people who run private prisons, they have families who are terrified of them, but that's not the point. The point is they need to bring home the bacon, and even if that's all they can afford is bacon, right? So
you can afford bacon?
Yeah.
That must be a good union at that private prison.
I like Smart and Safe Florida. That's going to take a lot of work to live up to as a slogan. Let me... Who are we supposed to put in the prisons down there, if not potheads that don't put up a big fight? Come on. You just slap the cuffs on them and drag them away. Cocaine dealers, they shoot back. And they can't wait to introduce you to their little friend.
Yeah.
So, Florida has been trending Republican, but polls show that Amendment 3 is more popular in the state than even Mr. Trump is, indicating that many voters intend to split their ticket and vote for both the former president and for marijuana legalization. Polling suggests that most Americans now say marijuana should be legal for medical or recreational use.
And yet it's not federally legal still. How is that possible? That's weird. Everyone thinks that he should make it legal, and yet it's not federally legal. Why do you suppose that is?
So now they're going to have country songs coming out of Florida about the redneck who lost his truck, not because his ex-wife took it, but because he can't remember where he parked it.
Where did I park my truck?
That's the song. Where did I park my truck? I got some dank.
I can't remember if I cracked the window for the dog. Wait, this song writes itself.
Florida voters have often elected Republicans while also approving more liberal ballot measures, including legalizing medical marijuana, which received 71% of the vote in 2016. Mr. Trump won the state that year by just 1 percentage point. Mr. DeSantis said that the measure would lead to the smell of marijuana filling the streets. Yeah, that's a nice smell. I don't know if you've ever smelled marijuana. Most people like that smell, unlike tobacco smell.
Yeah, that's, by the way, people that like hate marijuana, like they're like, oh, the stink of like your Ben Shapiro type, like, oh, the stench of marijuana. Like, shut up, Ben.
He said it's going to scare off families, businesses, and tourists. It's going to do the exact opposite.
I don't think we need to mess up the state.
We don't need to.
Yeah, that's the straw that broke the camel's back on Florida greatness. Weed being legal. Are you kidding? Well, he sucks, DeSantis, dude. He really sucks ass.
In a lot of ways, he sucks ass. But opposition to the measure has not been unanimous among Republican State Senator Joe Gruters, a Sarasota Republican who previously served as chairman of the Republican Party in Florida and is close with Mr. Trump. He broke with his party this month to back Amendment 3, the marijuana measure. He called it a common sense decision that prioritizes individual freedom, health, safety, and economic growth. Well, look at that.
Hey, stop. You're messing up the state.
Yeah. So Harris accuses Trump of brazen flip-flops on marijuana as former president endorses. So that's what you're going to do? That's...
You know what she's going to flip-flop on? No tax on tips, because the party already went against her. Hey, that's not realistic. There's other people who don't work in the restaurant industry that will miss out on getting a tax break if you do that. You see their arguments against it?
Hey, all I want to say is you don't want to hit the beach without your brazen flip-flops. That's all I'm saying. Am I right?
brazen flip-flops. It's a beach drag show for kids.
They're all the rage in Florida this year. So she's accusing him of a brazen flip-flop. He's coming onto the right side of the issue, which most people are for. That's the weird thing. And what other flip-flops do you think?
Is that like being for a wall when you weren't for a wall?
But did Trump put more African Americans in prison for small drug offenses than any other period in history? Oh no, wait, that was you, Vice President Harris. You did that. Yeah. So just reminding people of her bad record.
Yeah, she got those potheads in prison in California and then blocked investigating pedophile priests. Blocked that one right up. So made sure they were okay. But potheads, they got to go.
She's trying to get ahead of her own mistakes by throwing them at Donald Trump. In the age of the internet, you have to invent new things to attack that don't involve you. This actually highlights your bad record. The problem is there aren't any. She's attached to everything she's accusing him of. She should go back to joy, right? Go back to talking about.
Did they abandon joy? Joy was really a great non-definable slogan.
Somehow you think you're going to get all that joy without any marijuana? Well, guess what? I want some of what you're smoking. Florida conservatives attacked Donald Trump over marijuana comments. Never thought I'd see the day where a Republican was ahead of Democrats on the issue of marijuana. Trump just announced his support for legalizing marijuana federally to end the senseless incarceration of millions of Americans for having minor possession, but calls to ensure it is banned in common spaces. Common sense. That says Carlos Dapro. There you go.
What's the problem? I love that there's like a national push to legalize sex changes for prepubescent children, and that will be legalized before marijuana. That's amazing.
And as Florida goes, so will the rest of the South go, I predict. And now when a cop pulls you over, he's going to go, you know why I pulled you over? Because I totally forgot. Are you struggling with back taxes or unfiled returns? The IRS is escalating collections, adding 20,000 new agents and sending millions of final demand letters. In these challenging times, your best defense? Tax Network USA. Don't let the IRS take advantage of you. You should never talk to them without somebody helping you. With over 14 years of experience, Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in back taxes. No matter your tax issue size, their expertise is your advantage. They specialize in negotiating with the IRS, aiming to reduce your debt significantly. Tax Network USA doesn't just negotiate, they protect your assets from IRS seizures and manage your yearly returns for ongoing compliance. Importantly, they are licensed to help with all state tax issues, regardless of where you live in the United States. The clock is ticking. Don't wait as the IRS steps up its game. Seize control of your financial future now. Contact Tax Network USA for immediate relief and expert guidance. Call 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/Jimmy. Don't let tax issues overpower you. Turn to Tax Network USA and find your path to financial peace of mind. Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.